Starts TNA 15 years ago. Leaves his company 5 years ago. Gets invited back to his old company a few years ago. Anthem takes over this year, and they put him in position to take over his old company and completely rebrands it as his own. It's going to be Jeff Jarrett. Back everyone, J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. If you like what you're watching, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends, relatives, neighbors, aliens from other worlds. No, maybe not that. That's kind of weird. Before I jump into all this stuff that's Global Force Wrestling, Impact, Jeff Jarrett stuff, Slammiversary thoughts, I know I have not been super kind, okay, to this brand of wrestling as of late. I had my reasons, and I'm not going to get into them. If you watch my stuff, and if you watch, like, the Rambling About Wrestling guys, my thoughts, when I bring up stuff, little things here and there. It's not slamming the product, it's more just constructive criticism, okay? I had absolutely zero plans to watch Slammiversary, okay? I had enough of the product. What they were doing just drove me away, and I hadn't watched the other stuff, even though I felt some of their other stuff was good, or at least the guys they were working with were good, but I had been hearing a lot of positive things coming out of the weekend about Slammiversary, amongst all the other news going on with the brand merger, Jeff Jarrett, rebranding his old company and stuff like that. So, let's get into Slammiversary first, and I'll get into other little odds and ends that have been in the news lately. I did enjoy Global Force Wrestling. I want to say that right off the bat. Okay, I actually did enjoy it. Did I love everything about it? No. But that goes for pretty much anything we watch nowadays. We're like, oh wow, that main event was kick ass, but the other few other parts of the show weren't so great, or whatever. The way they started the show with the multi tag team match, was it 4-way, whatever you call it, they were, from what I understood, is they're unifying a bunch of championships at this event. Now, from what I heard, to get into just a tad bit of news at the same time, they are coming out with brand new championship belts in about a month. Okay? So they're doing tapings now, post Slammiversary, and I'll get into a little bit of that in a second. Not going to talk about spoilers, per se, as far as who wins what match against what. Just certain faces that are showing up that I think are significant. That I think are special. Stuff that I'm excited about that makes me actually want to watch this product. But I'll get into that later. So let's talk about Slammiversary. The first match, excuse me, Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Championship match. You got 4 different companies being represented here. You got Noah, which I'm sorry, I'm not super familiar with these guys. It's Samari and Marufuji. Marufuji I've heard of. I've seen him pop up in other little independent companies, getting, them advertising him for, and I can't remember where, but I've seen him pop up, on social media. other wrestling promotion posters coming up over the next couple months or whatever. So he must be in the country for a while. Whether it's mainly for Global Force Wrestling or if it's for just to work a bunch of different places. You got the tag champs, LAX, representing Global Force Wrestling and Impact. But I don't know if they brought out both sets of belts. That I don't remember. But nonetheless. What else? Oh, we got the guys from Crash. The Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. Wow! And as I was watching it and watching Garza work, man, does he look like his dad? Holy cow! You know, you can totally tell that that's Garza Jr. or Garza Sr. You know, this is his son. Rest in peace, Garza. Wow. And then from AAA, Drago and Phantasma. A.K.A. King Cuerno from Lucha Underground. And I'm not going to get into all the little things about what the controversy of, oh, this guy's showing up for this show and this guy is not allowed to show up for that show. I'm not going to talk about that, okay? I'm trying to keep this all positive for once, okay? So bear with me. But yeah, all four teams, wow, these guys kicked so much ass in this first match. And I didn't even care who won, you know. I was just excited to see some new faces, excited to see some guys from AAA get used, you know, which made me wonder if they were going to, you know, maybe surprise us with something else. But I think this was just hey, let's just celebrate this. We're not going to do too many big surprises or anything. Yeah, LAX wins, and then Conan, God, I love Conan, him and his mouth, he gets on there, and he's got to come up with some new, some new things he's spitting fire about. He's the whole as serious as a period thing. You got to come up with some new stuff, Conan. We love you, but come on. Talking about a new member of LAX, and then it'll be complete. So, yeah, that's going to be something that they're going to be working on in storylines, obviously, going forward. The first one off the top of my head is, you know, if you're going to try to get someone in LAX and you want to get all the gold in your company, or in the company, go after Patron. You know, that would be my first thing. But I don't know if he'd fit with them. You know, he's kind of his own thing. Hard to say, but I could see it. You know, and I want to see more from Homicide. I mean, there were some shenanigans with him in the match, but I want to see him get back in the ring. I want to see him wrestle. You know, I was just watching some classic stuff on Flow Slam not too long ago with him and CM Punk. Man, it's good stuff, you know. He's got a long history with this company, on and off, of course. But, man, you know, get him in the ring. Get him in this, in a few of the X Division matches. That'd be cool. I'd love to see it, you know. Or maybe he's too banged up. Who knows? I don't know what the reason is. But nonetheless, we'd love to see more. Obviously, Conan's only going to do so much. He just comes out there and runs his mouth, you know. The next match, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Hadn't watched Eli Drake and especially Chris Adonis wrestle in a long time. So it was cool to see them. Moose coming out with D'Angelo. Now this match was great. Okay, I did not expect anything from this match, and I say that because in this company's past, they've brought in football players Nah, I wasn't going to bring up names, but I'll bring up names. You know, they hyped. Remember Pac-Man Jones from, oh my God, what, 10 years ago? Or more? Whatever it was. Back when Team 3D was running wild. I think that was like right after they came in. Pac-Man Jones, hyped through the roof, past the roof, skybound, all this hype. Big hype machine. Hype-a-nominanon. Finally gets to the big match with him and the Dudleys versus, I can't remember who. I'm sorry. Maybe it was Team Canada or something. I don't know. He gets in the ring with the football. Everybody's losing their minds. Yeah, come on. Show your stuff. Throws the football at the other guy and leaves the ring. I was like, really? That's it? That's your move? That's all this hype? You threw a ball at the other guy. Okay, so coming off of that, still remembering that, okay, fresh in my mind from years ago, I was not expecting anything, unfortunately, out of this, what's his name? D'Angelo Williams. I was surprisingly wrong. I was way wrong. I was shocked. I was, you know, maybe it's them looking back at that and, hey, if we're going to bring in a name from another sports, another form of sports entertainment or sports period, whatever you want to call football, you know, it better be better than what we've done before, you know. This guy had so many shocking, big moves. Put Adonis, or was it whoever it was at the end? I don't remember which one. If it was Adonis or Drake. Put him through the table. Just all these, I can't even remember. I was so like, I should have written them down. Okay, I should have written them down, but I was like, eyes bugging out of my head throughout a majority of the match. You know, they really let this guy shine. Now, I read today that this guy was only practicing wrestling moves for 3 days. I don't know if I believe that. I'm not calling him a liar or the source a liar. But, okay, granted, he is a good athlete, and some of these guys do pick up stuff rather quickly. I get that. If you look at some of the guys who are like, you know, running wild, brother, in wrestling today, some of the guys who are actually getting championship after championship and getting, you know, running their own hype machine, like Leo Rush and MJF, hashtag MJF, you know, two guys who are champion in CZW and are getting eyes on them all over the place, you know, and they've only been in the industry wrestling 2 years or less. These guys are wowing crowds, you know, for an example like that. But, okay, so however long D'Angelo Williams has been in the ring practicing, working up to this event, he impressed me, along with several other people. I read somewhere today that Dave Meltzer, Meltzer's opinion of his debut, he put it up there with Angle's. Now that makes me want to go back and look at Angle's debut, okay? Because I can't remember his debut. I just recently saw John Cena's debut, but he was in, you know, the Indies for a little bit, training, becoming a wrestler, you know, in development back then. Over crying out loud. All right. Sorry about that. A little interruption. Where was I? Oh, D'Angelo Williams. Yeah, so he kicked ass. Did very well in this match with Moose against Drake and Adonis. Yeah, not too much else to say. Just, I don't know if it was a one-time thing or if they're going to keep bringing them back. It'd be interesting, to see them as a tag team more. Moose and Williams. D'Angelo Williams. So we'll have to see, just as good as he was makes me want to see more, just because I was so pleasantly surprised, Strat match. James Storm versus EC3. Storm basically getting carried away. Did not have a good match. Oh, the match was good. These two kicked the snot out of each other. News came out today that Storm has a, what do they say, stage 3 concussion. I don't know what is worse as far as stages, 1, 2, or 3, or whatever degree of worseness. Is that a word? Worseness? Or worse? Worst? Most worstest? Whatever. Yeah, all of a sudden, James Storm just collapses in the ring. And then it looks like EC3 and the ref having an awkward conversation, like, I don't know what's going on, or whatever. And he basically picks up James Storm into a finisher and pins him. And James Storm basically looks like he's dead. It's kind of weird. So I don't know if he was just selling. I don't know if this is how they're writing him off TV. Is he leaving the company now? Or are they going to repackage him? I have no idea. But something's going on with James Storm. Maybe this is his exit. I don't know. He's one of the last originals in there besides guys like Abyss. Not too many left. So we'll have to see. Maybe this is it for James Storm. He's going to ride off into the sunset and show up in NXT and challenge his old tag team partner Bobby Roode. Maybe we'll have to see. That'd be interesting. That'd be cool. But whether it's real or not, I hope he's okay. Okay, that's first off above anything. Pope comes down for the next match, which it was kind of like the oh my god match of the night. I'm sure some liked it, some didn't like it. I was kind of in between because this is the storyline that drove me away from Impact in the first place, because it was going. I'm not going to get into it. You've heard me talk about it. So Pope joins Don West, and I can't remember the other guy. But holy struggles, man! Did that dude had some troubles with names? He kept calling Chris Adonis, Chris Masters, and then West would quick chime in. Oh yeah, Adonis, did this, did that, whatever. And then he got better towards the end of the show. Maybe it was nerves towards the beginning of the show. I don't know. But yeah, Don West. Wow. I mean, he really carried the broadcast. He did. Tremendous work from Don West. Good to see him back. I hope he stays. I really do. I like him. Plus, he's great with those brown bag deals. Or whatever. Alright, so we get, Josh Matthews and Scott Steiner versus Jeremy Borash and Joseph Park / Abyss. This is such a comical hot mess, I mean, I give... The most annoying thing, I think, for me was just watching Josh Matthews. I'm so over Josh Matthews at this point. It drives me cuckoo. You know, makes me want to drink when I'm watching this stuff. Oh my gosh. It was interesting to see him in the ring again. You know, all snarky, like he was like, you know, putting on some really great moves. That was comical. It was more comical to see Jeremy Borash get in the ring, because it was like kind of like seeing someone like, you know, Jim Ross in the ring, or Michael Cole for that matter. Joseph Park playing the simple guy, the simple big guy that can't do anything even though he can. Later in this giant... Okay, now cue the Benny Hill music as they're running throughout the backstage area here, which was obviously all pre-taped, but whatever, it's fine. You know, piped in the music, everything. It was basically the equivalent of what they'd done before with, like, you know, the Hardy segments and stuff like that. The Broken Universe, whatever. So this is probably all the brainstorm of Jeremy Borash, which was, you know, fine. Props to him for coming up with all this. And then Shark Boy shows up, and then James Mitchell shows up. Now that's going to be interesting. So we get the return of Abyss at the end of the match, and Shark Boy comes down too. The only hiccup that I was just kind of like shaking my head about in all this, they all came back to the ring completely dry. Well, Steiner never got wet, but Borash, Shark Boy, Matthews, all wet. And they all came back dry. So, no, it's, you know, I'm not going to sit there and say it ruined the segment. It was just like, hey, wow, they dried off quick, you know, just little, you know, little made fun of there. But yeah, overall it was funny. Interesting to see James Mitchell again. Yeah, put in the comments below. Let me know if you think he's going to stick around. You know, we haven't seen him in, gosh, I can't remember the last time we saw him. I can't remember. But it was cool to see him. Think Abyss is going to stick around now. Like, he's like like I said, he's one of the last of the original guys. It's going to be interesting to see how long he sticks around. Or is he going to go back to... I really don't like Joseph Park. I really don't. It's so... I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I prefer the badass Abyss, you know? It's like, you know, who wants to see Kane in a suit? No, you want to see him the big, badass red machine, you know? Same thing. Oh, and props to the tax spot. Holy cow. First of all, Matthews landing in the tax, and then Jeremy Borash jumping off the top rope, landing, splashing on Josh Matthews, and landing in the tax as well. Hands just covered in scars now. Holy crap. And I think he was more in shock than anything, but he kept the tax in there till the end of the segment when they were going up the ramp. Didn't try to pull him out or anything. He just held him in there. It was like, oh my God. I would have been like, plink, 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 you know, something. I don't know. I just, like I said, maybe it was shock. I don't know. Just, it's like, holy crap, you're going to hold him in there? Wow. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't do that. So, like I said, props to him. Both those guys. Because, you know, Josh Matthews is not in the ring on a normal basis. Or maybe he is and we don't know it. I don't know. But anyways, I hope this is the end of that and they stop the stupid arguing, because that's, like I said, that's what killed it for me in the first place, because it was all throughout the show. It was ridiculous. They got to kill it now. It's got to be over. Last thoughts on that. Steiner did not look good. No. You know, people were sitting there, you know, months ago when they heard news of Steiner coming back and comparing it to Goldberg. I'm sorry, Goldberg looked 10 times better and moved better than Scott Steiner. But then again, excuse me, Goldberg's working out, doing Muay Thai every day. Steiner's running a restaurant. You know, he's not Big Papa Pump anymore. He's medium pump, you know, or medium-sized pump. You know, he's about half the size as he used to be. So, but nonetheless, whatever. It is what it is. I hope they paid him well, because man, it was kind of funny. So yeah. Then the intergender Full Metal Mayhem match. Well, that's a mouthful. Davey Richards and his wife, Angelina Love, versus Eddie Edwards and his wife, Alicia Edwards. Had not seen Alicia Edwards in the ring before. I think she's pretty new to this whole in-ring thing, from what I've heard. It was a better match than I thought it was going to be. Really surprised. Everyone gave 110%. Brutal. More tacks in the ring. In fact, most of the cup ended up in Eddie Edwards' mouth. Oh, how? Oh, man. I don't know how. That's just, brutal. Props, you know? Jeez. Crazy. Eddie Edwards wins. I've liked this feud. It was different seeing it on a different stage, because when I first started watching Ring of Honor, when they first got their Sinclair TV deal, this is what was going on, the main event at that time. The big feud between Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. So it was interesting watching these guys go at it again. After being a rivalry, then a tag team, then a tag team here and a tag team there. Back to being a tag team in TNA. And then brutal enemies. It's been a crazy roller coaster for these guys. And I know Davey Richards is going to be retiring soon, so it'll be interesting to see where this all goes. You know, 2 out of 3 falls from Low-Key and Sanjay Dutt. Good match. Didn't pay attention to it as much as I probably should have. Sanjay Dutt retains. A little shocked. Kind of thought they were going to, I don't know, I just had this feeling like they were going to take it off of him. But they didn't. They didn't. Women's Championship match. Good match. Sienna representing Global Force Wrestling versus Rosemary representing Impact Wrestling. And Gail Kim coming out there. This was a unification match, and Sienna won. And I've seen her lately in other things like, was it Shimmer or Shine? I can never remember which one's on Flow Slam. I've watched it a handful of times, probably not as much as I should. In fact, they also have a women's tournament on Flow Slam coming up soon, along with, WWE's got one too. So lots of different tournaments and cups coming up. It's going to be cool to see. Good match, though. Oh, that entrance from Rosemary. Holy cow. All the little, ghouly girls surrounding her. Reminded me of all... You ever see The Strain? And the vampire kids in that movie that have, the blacked out eyes and they're all blind and they all kind of crawl around on all fours? That's what that reminded me of. Creeped me out. Loved it. Jeff Jarrett comes out, does a promo. Thanks, everyone. Going back to the beginning, And keeps it short and sweet. Tells Patron and Lashley that they better kick ass. Because they've got a lot to follow, because everyone else has really stepped it up tonight. And they did. They had a good match. Wasn't thrilled about the whole King Mo thing. I thought that was comical because he really didn't do anything out there. He hasn't meant anything to the company in the last 5 years. But he's been on the roster. But anyways, good match. Patron wins, so he's got both titles. So he's gonna get a new title. Sienna's gonna get a new title, and I'm guessing LAX, if everyone's still champion in a month, which you never know. You never know. They're all going to get brand new championships. So they're not going to. So they're going to do away with the Impact Championship. They're going to do away with the Global Force Wrestling Championship. Maybe they're going to come out with a brand new logo for that. Interesting. They're not just going to keep the Global Force Wrestling belts. Some people like the look, some people don't. I thought it was fine, belt's a belt, as long as it doesn't look like plastic, whatever. So yeah, overall the show was decent. It surprised me, It was better than I thought. There was some comedy stuff, but mostly everybody really kicked ass, put on a good show. Now on the thoughts about Jeff Jarrett and a company merger. So the show itself, the show is still going to be called Impact Wrestling. Okay, that's the show. It's not the company name. The company name is Global Force Wrestling. And from what I've heard, I just saw the video earlier today. It's going to be a 4-part series coming out. They're going to put it out on pay-per-view or on demand or whatever. They're going to show the original episodes that were filmed for Global Force Wrestling in Vegas a couple years ago that had never seen the light of day. Well, they're finally going to see the light of day. And I'm actually really excited to see this. There's, tag teams in there that have, been all over the place between TNA and New Japan, WWE, Independence, all over the place. Bobby Roode is in there. I don't know of all the women that are in there. All the Bollywood boys I heard are in there. Kevin Cross, the footage from Kevin Cross is finally going to be... Because I look for little footage on him here and there, between his Las Vegas stuff and AAA stuff. And I've always wanted to see what he did for Global Force Wrestling, because that was where I was first introduced to Kevin Cross, was through Jeff Jarrett's company. So yeah, I'm excited to see that footage. I might do reviews on here. Probably will, just because it's something new and different. Well, it's not new. It's a couple years old, but it still will be exciting to see what they all filmed in Vegas that weekend. Okay. What else? Oh. Some of this is courtesy of a couple different sources. The one is courtesy of Andre Corbeil. Broke the news late last night. Now, I wasn't gonna, check out as far as, who wrestled who and whatever, but I did hear some names that are being included, excuse me, in the new, World X Cup that's being brought back to television. The tournament for the X Division. Got some new guys coming in. One of them is Sammy Guerva. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm sorry if I screw that up. But I've seen him here and there on Flow Slam, in Evolve, and Style Battle, and one or two other places, I think. young kid making a name for himself. So it'll be cool to see him. Also, ACH is going to be part of this too. And according to the promo that Josh Matthews cut, it looks like Drago is going to be part of it too. So, very cool to see ACH in there. He's also in Evolve lately. So I don't know if he's going to do both. If Global Force Wrestling is just bringing him in for tapings, or if they actually signed him to a contract. I don't know. I haven't heard any details. But it'll be certainly be cool to see ACH and Sammy on another stage. So good for them. Congrats to them. And yeah, good get for Global Force Wrestling. That's what they need. They need more fresh faces. They've got a lot of fresh faces. But some of these guys, whether they're good or not, I don't know. And I just, you just haven't seen them before. So, and some of these guys I have seen, like Desmond Xavier, another new kid. So talented. Oh my God. I saw him in some CZW matches against Shane Strickland. Tore the house down. Wow. So yeah, I don't know who's all in the X Division Cup. I'm sure we're going to see some more new faces. It's because this is going to be like starting another chapter. Kind of like post-Mania, sort of, in a way. So yeah, lots of stuff, lots of positive things happening for Global Force Wrestling. And the name itself with TNA and everything has been so negative over the last couple of years. And Jeff even said that. Jeff knows that. So, to put his old company name to bed, have it, dissolve it, and to breathe new life into this company, rebrand it as Global Force Wrestling. That's pretty cool. I like it. That itself makes me more excited for this, Just trying to walk away from all the negativity of the past, look towards the future, looking to work with, branch out. Look at how many different companies worked at this event, AAA, Noah, Crash, and there's going to be even more, They did the tapings in India. That was a huge thing for him, So yeah, I'll start watching it again. I'll give it a chance. It's just they need whatever storylines they had, they need to bury them. Especially the Josh Matthews stuff. If he's calling matches, fine. Just quit being an ass 24/7 because it really just it just grated on me. It just really did. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, shout out to Andre Corbeil. So sharing some news that he shared last night. So yeah, I'm excited for this, especially with the X Cup. That's pretty cool. That's what build the company on that again. Can't wait to see that. So yeah, give me your thoughts in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like the event or whatever. Let me know what you thought. Talk to me. If you're just gonna say, Impact Wrestling is shit. No, just if you're gonna talk to me, talk to me. Exchange ideas, but don't. If you're gonna troll me, I don't have time for that. So, life is too short to be an asshole. Seriously. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, give it a sub, and we'll be back soon. I'm gonna go watch some SmackDown battle raps. See ya.